Okay, blessed Sunday to everyone listening. I started off a much bit later in recording. I'm at 9:12 a.m. on the Sunday prior to the time that you're usually listening to me because I just decided to sleep a little longer today. Oh my word, wow. Got up like near 8 o'clock. For me, that's like the middle of the day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Jan. Welcome to another episode on this channel, the Save Money More Jan channel. How's everybody doing today? And I hope that everybody is doing well. And I want to talk about with you today 5 so simple grocery savings, quick tips that absolutely, and without doubt or hesitation have worked for me. By the way, before I forget, and I don't mean to forget, if you're brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you've been here a long time, welcome, welcome, welcome always. And thank you to all of you. Even if you just stopped by one time, I so appreciate every single one of you. I want to let you know that at the top of the show. And don't hesitate to smash down the like button right now and smash down the subscribe button right now if this is a good fit for you. And I hope to goodness that it is. All right, so this is important, and lots of times people don't really mention this. I really and firmly believe to go grocery shopping, whether it is in person, whether it is, let me shut my fan so that this doesn't ruin my recording. Hang on, folks. There you go. Because sometimes that fan, the waves of the fan, the air could screw up my broadcast. I don't want that. Anyway, I truly believe that if we go grocery shopping, whether it's online or in person, if we go distracted, it doesn't work out. It throws us off. We are distracted. I mean, I don't know what the distractions would be in your life. Only you could find that out and figure it out, like a way to sneak in some, I have to say, sneak in some quiet time. Even if you're online shopping at home or wherever you are, like if you have like a lot of too many things going on around you, you're bound to make some purchases or mistake that might end up costing you. So therefore, try to shop undistracted. Now, when you're shopping online, the good news is you can like really go over everything that's in your cart and mull it over or whatever. You could also shop online, for example, in bits and pieces. Okay, like when it's downtime, quiet time, in between a coffee break time, in the middle of your day, you know what I mean? You could do that undistracted. When you're at the grocery store, if you have grandma around to help out with the kids, that would be amazing. I oftentimes remember this, and it is the truth. Like, for example, when you're a young mom, think of how many things you get to do, when you have like a half hour, an hour break, like even, house chores or whatever, goes by so much more quickly, more efficiently than, when we have to concentrate and wantingly concentrate on our kids, but everything just takes a little bit longer. So the idea being shop without distraction. And of course, never go hungry to the grocery store. All of a sudden, everything around you seems so much better to get, right? Anyway, so we know that trick. That trick is an oldie but a goodie, and it still works today. No point in not having that little bit of a granola bar or something in your purse. You just easily eat that even before you get into the store. There you go. In fact, I recommend that. Not a good idea to walk around the grocery store eating. Although some people seem to do that and think it's a okay, but that is its own show of itself. I'm not even kidding you. That is its own show. All right, so let's stick to saving quick tips for the grocery store. All right, certain stores, all right, the next point to make. Certain stores have better prices, for example, on meats or produce in your area. Whatever the store is, doesn't matter the name of the store, whatever. But some stores, if you really look around, seem to consistently have better prices than other stores on their produce or their meat. And that's important because most of us pick up what? Produce and meat. Even if you don't personally eat meat, maybe someone else in your family does or whatever. So we spend our monies in that direction. So therefore, since certain stores have better prices on meats or produce, doesn't it stand to reason to find that store, shop there for those items? And just for the record, it is absolutely totally A-OK to go to more than one grocery store if you can do this, if you have the time. Now, of course, there's always that debate about, well, Jan, if I'm going to spend so much money on gas, to get, to those places, or your time crunch or whatever, only you could figure that one out. I can't figure that out for you. Make the best decision for your particular situation. But if you have like stores that are in close proximity, okay, if they're in close proximity and you're okay with shopping around a little bit more, you could do the mainstay of your shopping, for example, at home first. Go through those apps like the Flips app. Okay, for example, I know Steve Young from the Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel has mentioned about the Flips app. You could get an idea, an overview of the various prices of sales in your local area. Okay, you could do it that way. You could just check for online circulars of the various stores and form your own conclusion on that. But don't rule out the idea or the possibility of checking in with other than one grocery store. I know it's way more convenient to be at the one store, for example. I get that. But sometimes it's just worth a little more effort. A penny saved is literally a penny earned. Okay. Next, stock up on easy side dish staples, and it's okay. Okay. For example, if you have like a chicken roasting in the oven, okay, it's so simple at the same time while you are roasting a chicken or a beef roast or something to just cut up some potatoes, cut up some carrots, throw it in there. That's an easy side dish right away. So you could get like the fresh route, or you could keep on hand, which I always recommend the mashed potato pouches or mashed potato flakes. If you're short on cash, the flavored already done up mashed potato pouches could work. But if the mashed potato flakes are on sale and you get a whole lot more of those, you could simply add just some simple and favorite ingredients that more than likely you may have on hand, like garlic powder, for example, to make garlicky mashed potatoes. You don't have to use butter. If you don't have butter, if you have margarine, the world will not come to an end, but it is an option. You see where I'm going with this? We have to adapt to our own particular situations, but I do recommend stocking up on easy side dishes, okay? And especially like when we're trying to afford more money on meat, and sometimes that's not feasible. So what we do is share more of the meat. Sometimes you might have to maybe bulk up your meal on the less expensive side dishes, for example, like green beans and mashed potatoes, okay? And by the way, there is nothing wrong with canned beans or anything of that nature. I'm still here to talk about it at age 66 and a half, going on 66 and three quarters. But who's counting? I'm just saying. Okay. And frozen vegetables. And a matter of fact, I want to talk to you a moment about frozen vegetables. But let me see. But I want to continue on with this. So you know about the potato flakes and all that. Also, another great thing to stock up on when they go on sale. If you are rice cooking phobic, and there are many of us that are, I was rice cooking phobic for a long time, and everywhere with Steve Young 74 had mentioned a very simple method of doing that. You can check on his channel for that. And I'm not saying that I always make it that way. No, I do not. I would be sitting here and lying to myself and to you in the computer. No, there are still times that, well, I'm just not interested at that moment. So what I like to do is still keep a couple of boxes of those instant rices available. If you could get those on sale, but I have noticed in my locality, everywhere is different. But in my locality, for some reason, that hardly ever goes on sale. So I don't buy a ton of it. I keep some of it for those times when I'm just like, oh, I just don't want to figure it out, and I just do it the easy way. And it's still a lot cheaper. Remember this. Even if you go that route, it's still a lot less expensive than having to pay for takeout, having to, go to the restaurant. And you know what I'm trying to say here on that also. But the other one, the regular rice from scratch, I need to invest in a rice cooker. Why do I always forget to do that? I'm not going to lie, I don't have a rice cooker. Do you have one? Let me know in the comment section below. A rice cooker makes life a lot easier. You can make a whole bunch of it earlier on in the week, and you can use it as you go along. You could do that easy rice available. You can make fried rice, very inexpensive. You could toss it into your soups, very, very cheap. You could make some wonderful rice balls or rice patties. Instead of hamburger patties, make the ingredients of rice balls, except put them flat in a patty shape, flavor them up, throw some shredded mozzarella cheese inside with Parmesan cheese and Italian flavored breadcrumbs, and just literally fry them up in a shallow fry in your skillet. So delicious, such a different break. You're not spending a ton of money on the meat, and the kids love them. I have never had a kid in my family, whether it was nephews or nieces or whatever, grandchildren, whatever, that didn't love the taste of those. They are just so good, so good. I'm just saying. All right, and we need to be less phobic about frozen vegetables and canned vegetables in general in life. They are a great option, especially the frozen. And why do I love the frozen option so much? Because number one, it avoids food waste. I love things that I could keep in my freezer that I can use as I go along. I could portion it out easily. I could throw them in my soups and stews, put them in my crock pot, whatever I want to do. It is there. That to me, as far as the frozen produce goes, is a lot cheaper than spending tons of money on fresh produce that just might go to waste no matter how well you wrap it up. This is just real life. And by the way, I don't like food waste. Always keep an eye out on all of your foods that are in your refrigerator throughout the week. Wednesday, Tuesday and Wednesday, if you're starting off on a Sunday with, say, fresh meals of whatever, by Tuesday and Wednesday, either make the decision, executive decision, to have frozen up the other stuff that you want to put away and avoid food waste, especially for the tough end of the month, or use up, just you have to assess, do a midweek refrigerator inspection. Not clean out. Clean out, in my opinion, works best for right before you go to grocery store. But middle of the week inspection, look around. What is going on with your existing stuff in your refrigerator section? Maybe you could pack it for the next day's lunch. Whatever we do, it's always best to avoid food waste. And to me, working with the frozen vegetables in the first place avoids it completely, because what? We are using it as we go along. I just really do not like food waste. I am so huge on that. All right, let's talk about cereal for a minute. As you may remember, not that long ago, I did a video about where I spent something like $1.69 for a big box of those toasted oats that look like rings, honey oats like that, and they were amazing. They taste identical to the national brand product. And that video was about stop being phobic about trying generic cereals. Okay, so anyway, I mean, it cost me 24 cents a day for breakfast. 24 cents a day for breakfast every day of the week. I also had been blessed a long time ago with some a non-fat powdered dry milk. And I said, I'm going to use that thing up. I made it in advance. I put a little vanilla extract in it as I chill it. It really helps with the flavor of that non-fat milk. I am not even kidding you. You might want to put a half a teaspoon of sugar in that milk mixture. It just changes the whole complexity. All right. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Besides that great idea, I have also noticed that puffed rice cereal, any cereal that seems to be sold in bags, because of the packaging. I used to work for a packaging company, so I know why it does that. Okay, the cheaper the packaging, the less cost to you. The plastic bags are a great option for them. It lightens up the shipping load. It ends up being lighter for you in your wallet. I've noticed that. Like, you could buy a ton of puff rice cereal in those bags for a lot less money. Now, I love the puff rice cereal, but I do recommend this. Be sure when you are at the grocery store, make sure there are no holes in the bag of the puffed rice cereal. Because sometimes, I don't know why people do this. This is a terrible thing. Sometimes it may be by accident or it may be intentional. I don't know, sometimes people put little holes in products with maybe long fingernails, unwittingly make a mistake and do that. So when you pick it up to go put it in your grocery cart, make sure, inspect it, that there are no holes in those bags of, for example, puffed rice cereal, which is significantly less expensive that I have noticed. And it's a lightweight snack. Sometimes you want a little something, something, but you don't want something so heavy, heavy. And the puffed rice type cereals are beyond amazing in that area. All right. I hope that these quick tips have helped. I've done them. I've used them. I've used every one of them. And I could tell you for sure and for true that it absolutely does help. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate what everybody's time. Don't forget to come back tomorrow at when? 5 o'clock in the morning for a brand new show every single day of the week. That includes Saturdays and Sundays. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I could do this all day long. All right, everybody. Take good care of yourself and your amazing family. And super thanks are forever welcome and forever appreciated. Thank you.